The So Bros Network presents the movie podcast breaking down films and their impact on pop culture as they approach the legal drinking age. This is Drinking With. Now here's your host, Stephen McCash.
Welcome to spooky season, everybody, and an all-new episode of Drinking With, the podcast where we raise a glass to the movies that have reached the legal drinking age. I'm your host, Stephen McCash of the So Bros Network, and join me as we embark on a cinematic journey through the classics of yesteryear, celebrating their 21st birthdays in style. From iconic blockbusters to hidden gems, each episode will toast to a different film that has stood the test of time and shaped our cultural landscape. So grab your favorite beverage or the one we have curated for this episode, and let's dive deep into the nostalgia as we explore movies that are finally old enough to drink. Join us for a drink at the bar. And joining me at the bar, as always, are the two best people I can think of to stumble out of the bar after a long discussion of films. First is the resident film critic of the So Bros Network, Brandon Vick, who's also a member of the Southeastern Film Critics Association, a board member of the Music City Films Critics Association, and most importantly, the birth giver of the Vic's Flicks and the Cinema Chronicles podcast that you can hear wherever you get your podcasts from. And joining him, as always, is the man behind the brains here at So Bros Network, the EIC, the glue of the brand, a gin aficionado, all-around cat lover and football wordsmith, Mr. Stoney Keeley. Gentlemen, spooky season is here. How are we doing today?
Loving it. I love the film that we're going to talk about today. I think it's a different kind of spooky season, which I like a little variety every now and then. But this is the time of year where I start curating those films, the classics, the ones that I watch every year, and I start lining it up. Open up the windows, let a breeze blow through, throw some chili in the crock pot, and watch a scary movie. Can't beat it. You can't beat it.
No.
I was just telling Stoney about I don't know the date, but there is a 1 week event where one of my favorites of spooky season, Paranorman, is coming back in 3D. Yes. And I really want to check that out because that is one of my go-tos in October.
Absolutely.
That and Passion of the Christ. It's scary.
I'm still waiting on that sequel.
Yeah.
Oh, it's coming. Don't you worry.
I will say this is a film that it's in high regard as far as comedy horror goes. It's one of the I'd say top 2 or 3 that's ever been made, and it's routinely on a TV near me at some point during spooky season, without a doubt. Yeah,
I'm with it.
I don't watch it every spooky season, but I do like it.
I have it in the collection, and what I have is like my collection for October. And sometimes, some years I'll pull it out, some years I won't.
Yep.
I think a nice double feature would be this and Anna and the Apocalypse.
Oh, okay.
Now you had me at Anna and the Apocalypse right there. You know that's one.
I know you do, and my wife loves it too, and I actually enjoy it more than I thought I would. But yeah, I think it's a nice double feature.
I still haven't seen that.
Well, it's a musical, so I don't expect you to ever see it.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I would add in Tucker and Dale versus Evil would be my triple shot when it comes to comedy horror. But we are talking about Shaun of the Dead, and simply put, what could possibly go wrong when you're a directionless slacker Brit who is trying to win back your ex and reconcile with your mother at the same time? For Shaun, it's zombies. Zombies is what could go wrong, and boy, does it go wrong. Shaun of the Dead is directed by, I think, one of the world's finest directors right now, Edgar Wright, who also did Baby Driver, Last Night in Soho, and one of my all-time favorite documentaries, The Sparks Brothers. He also co-wrote the film with its star, Simon Pegg. And this became part of a trilogy, as we all know. And the film is starring Simon Pegg, as I just mentioned, who plays Shaun, who we obviously know from the Mission Impossible franchise, Paul, the alien comedy Paul, and my favorite David Schwimmer directed film, Run Fat Boy Run.
David Schwimmer.
I forgot he did that one.
I love that movie. Also co-starring his real life best friend, Nick Frost, as Ed, who was also in Paul, and can be seen in the live action How to Train Your Dragon.
How about that?
Yeah. And
Those are essentially the real two stars of the film.
He's playing Hagrid in the Harry Potter show.
That's true as well.
Yeah. Yep.
Good for him. Good for him.
The only other member of the cast I really wanted to mention is somebody who's been on the podcast before, and you can feel it in your bones.
Yeah.
And that is Bill Nye, not the science guy, who plays Shaun's stepdad, Philip.
I was so happy when I saw him.
I forgot about it.
Me too.
Same.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yep. So on Drinking With, we need to drink. And oddly enough, this episode hasn't been derailed early on. So I was a little surprised we got to the drink so fast. But
I was looking at Simon Pegg's filmography, to be honest with you, just kind of looking at some of his other stuff. And because his name came up earlier in the year when we talked about the Mission Impossible franchise on the Vix Flix podcast. And I just thought good for him, but I kind of wanted to see like, okay, I know he does these British comedies, and there's, Hot Fuzz and The World's End and all that stuff too. And I knew of the Mission Impossible movies, but I wanted to see what else he's done. He's made a nice little career for himself.
Yeah. He hasn't done too bad. The drink that we're making today is called the Winchester Red. You're simply just going to need 1.5 ounces of spiced rum, 1 ounce of a cherry liqueur, 1/2 ounce of sweet vermouth, some cranberry juice, some bitters, some maraschino cherries, and an orange twist. So optional, what you can do here is rim the glass with red sugar or like a crushed candy, like a red candy of some sort. Like a Jolly Rancher or something. You fill a cocktail shaker with ice, add the spiced rum, the cherry liqueur, the vermouth, cranberry juice, and bitters. Dash of bitters and like a splash of cranberry juice is really all you need. Shake well, strain into a chilled rock glass or a lowball glass over fresh ice. Garnish with the maraschino cherry and an orange twist, and there is your Winchester Red.
That sounds fantastic.
That sounds like a liquored up fruit basket.
It's good for this time of year. You know what I might do? True. I might rim it with some crushed up Red Hots.
Oh, there's Molly things.
The cinnamon candies.
Oh yeah.
I'm not
I think I would do mine with ketchup.
Ketchup.
That sounds nice.
Festive too.
I'd try.
Yeah.
I love it.
In the sense of like Nashville hot chicken and such, you can just rim it in like some Red's Hots sauce or something.
Yeah.
You got to be careful when you're rimming it.
Yeah. Well, that's true.
Put protection on.
Yeah. When you're going for a rim job, you definitely have to be careful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You start firing that Winchester.
You're going to be firing something else
to that booty hole.
There's the off railing that I was looking for.
You got through the drink, though. You got through the drink.
Firing that Winchester in the booty hole.
I didn't want to say booty hole, but
what did you?
We are PG.
Huh? Well, I wanted to kind of come up with like, the poop caboose or something like that. I didn't want to just do. I didn't want to. Yeah.
Sometimes you get in those moments and it just. Excuse me.
Get you in the throat.
Sometimes you get to those moments and it just doesn't come to you quickly enough.
No, the firing your Winchester into took all I had.
Gotcha.
So booty hole it is.
This is completely off subject, but I did just listen to an episode of the Dak Shepard podcast, Armchair Expert, where they talked about 45 minutes worth of weird things that have been found in people's bum holes. And
was a Winchester Red one of them?
Yeah. No, but presidential Barbie was.
Oh.
And when it was discovered, because the patient in question denied having anything up there, but was like, somebody could have put something up there, but I didn't. So when the nurse examined him, she said there was 2 perfect little doll feet just hanging out of his anus.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
But also, that should be a lesson to you that when we go off the rails, it could be way worse and could last for way longer.
We could end up on presidential Barbie up someone's tutor.
45 minutes in.
Yeah.
Another one was somebody had stuck a can of butane gas up his rectum.
That's dangerous.
What the hell?
Yeah, I don't know. Man, there's better
Pleasure
stuff.
or not, I don't understand how that gets you going.
How you get to the butane gas.
But then then you have the nerve to go in somewhere and say, nothing's up there.
Yeah.
Like, I see two little baby doll feet. What do you mean?
Yeah.
They did tell a
baby doll.
story. They had a nurse. They had a nurse on that told a story, and we'll move back to the podcast. I promise. Where a guy came in and he was honest. He's like, "Look, I did a bunch of cocaine. I had a bunch of hookers, and somehow I got something up my ass, and it turned out to be like a can of Coke Zero."
Oh, I do love Coke. All right.
That's a fat. That's a fat cylinder.
And so they had a Asian nurse who was small, so she had small but strong hands that was able to, with lubrication and such, get up there. But a suction had been caused by the anus that had made it where you couldn't pull the can out. So the doctor on hand was like, "Can you reach the tab to the can?" And she's like, "Yes." She's like, "Let's open it." And so they opened it, and here comes Coke Zero with micro poop and shit just flowing everywhere.
So it was an unopened can?
It was unopened.
I think next time you should just open it and then just pour the Coke Zero into your butt.
Yeah.
That should be better. Get a nice butthole wash with Coke Zero.
I bet that
an ass douche.
I bet that kind of felt good though coming out.
You mean like when she opened it? Well, yeah probably.
Like,
going in's a different story, but coming out would.
Yeah, you got to do some serious stretching. But do you think what it was like they were fucked up and they were like, let's see if we can get this Coke
because
Zero
if
can
you're
up
honest
my ass.
enough and then you say, I'm not sure how.
Yeah.
But it's up there. I want to know. I mean, cocaine must be a powerful thing to be like, you know what? Should I open it? Don't even open it. Just shove it in there.
Yeah.
In case I need it later. And I bet you it was hot too.
Nothing's
more disgusting than a hot Coke Zero, I assure you.
Maybe a hot Coke Zero up your ass.
Up your ass.
Oh Lord, let's get back on. Let's talk money. So the budget for this film is listed in pounds, not US dollars.
So we got to
come on. We got to do a currency.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So how many pounds do we think the budget was for Shaun of the Dead in 2004?
I'm gonna say
what's pound to dollar.
That's what I'm looking up now.
Okay.
You can't look at today. You need to look at what 2004 conversion was.
That's where he's at.
2004 and
from pound to dollar.
So it would have been 0.54, but I don't know which way is which. You know what? This is way too much.
How much was it?
I'm gonna say 17.
17 million.
Shaun of the opening weekend, right?
No, this is budget.
Okay. Okay.
Budget. All right. You know what? I'm gonna go lower. I'm just gonna say 11.
11 million and 17 million for the budget?
Yeah.
4 million.
Okay.
4 million pounds, which was the equivalent of $7.24 million in September of 2004 when it opened.
To be clear, I was thinking like that probably cost them $30 million to make this movie.
So. Oh, yeah.
But it only cost 4.
Yeah.
The film opened July 30th in Iceland, but in the U.S., it didn't open until the weekend of September 26th. It opened on 607 screens alongside The Forgotten and First Daughter. So take that 607 into your equation. What do we think opening weekend U.S. Canada was in U.S. dollars as well? We're out of the pounds for Shaun of the Dead.
I'm gonna say 12 million.
I'm gonna say 8.
How about 3.3?
That's surprising because I remember this movie coming out, and I remember the previews for it, and I remember like our.
that's a quite a limited release.
Yeah.
Less than 700 screens.
Yeah,
but and you're also thinking that no one knows anybody. It's just are you a horror fan?
Mm-hmm.
Well, they know that guy from Love Actually. That's about all they know.
Yeah, and I don't even know if he was shown as much.
Yeah, I don't think he was in the previews by any means.
Yeah,
but I will say, Stoney, you said 13 million for opening weekend. Its total domestic box office was just under 14.5 million.
Wow. So, but still, $4 million budget,
Yeah.
Yeah.
With an unknown cast,
or technically $7 million budget. So
yeah, but that's only in the States. Where's Bulgaria?
Well, we won't get to Bulgaria,
Okay,
but
sorry,
we will
I
get to
love
some
it.
other countries. I'm going to tell you the top 5 that week. Shaun of the Dead obviously did not make that top 5, but your top 5 at number 5 was First Daughter, the classic Katie Holmes film.
I don't
that
remember
nobody
that
remembers.
at all.
I mean, I remember it.
I've never seen it, but I know it exists.
Yeah.
Resident Evil Apocalypse is at number 4. I don't know if that's the second or third or fourth in the series.
Yeah.
Is it second?
Yeah.
The Bernie Mac phenomenal film, Mr. 3000.
Mr. 3000.
Underrated baseball film. And then the top two are movies that I've never seen. One I don't remember at all, but number 2 is Sky Captain and the World of Tomorrow.
Oh yeah,
I remember liking that at the time.
Yeah,
never saw it. And then your number 1 film that I don't remember at all, The Forgotten.
Yeah, Julianne Moore. It's not very good. It's like it's like a somewhat of a thriller, kind of scary, psychological. But yeah, it was. I just remember being very boring. Does that have Samuel L. Jackson in it too?
I couldn't tell you.
Julianne Moore for sure is in it.
Julianne Moore, Alfre Woodard, Gary Sinise is in it.
Oh.
I do not see Samuel L.
That's a
Jackson.
phenomenal cast.
There's something else that he's in with her, but anyway, but yeah, not very good.
It brought in $14.5 million in the States. Worldwide, altogether, just under, a little over $31.5 million.
Get it.
Your big winner is obviously the UK, where it did $8.9 million.
Mm-hmm.
The Germans brought in $1.1 million, so you get roughly $10 million from
Thanks,
two
Germans.
countries.
Yeah.
And then our friends in Lebanon brought in $6,643. And it's Lebanon, not Lebanon.
Lebanon, Tennessee.
Yeah.
Thanks, Watertown.
I was about to say, wow, the Malco. What is it out there? I don't remember what it is.
Malco in Lebanon?
The Roxy.
The
Roxy. Doing some numbers for Shaun of the Dead back in the day.
Lastly, on the box office, this is according to Box Office Mojo, which is where I get all my stats for the various countries and such. It has listed Argentina's lifetime gross for Shaun of the Dead at $1.
No.
How does that work?
Yeah,
I don't know how much movies cost in Argentina.
$1. One person went to see it, and it was $1.
If they were,
do they have a dollar theater?
100 people saw it.
That's true.
That's
Good
true.
point. That's true.
The old penny theaters of Argentina. You ain't ever heard of them?
No.
I mean, they're not going to cry for you in Argentina, and they're probably not going to see Shaun of the Dead either.
Especially Madonna's.
Yeah. But, we both, or all three of us have talked about, we enjoyed this film. What do we think the critics on Rotten Tomatoes thought? I will tell you there are 221 reviews as of today on Rotten Tomatoes from the critics. So what percentage does this film come in at?
It's like 91.
91 from the critics.
Yeah, why not?
That's a lot of praise.
It was a darling.
It was.
And remember, they got a trilogy out of this shit.
Somebody
liked it.
I'm going to say 82.
Brandon was right there. 92%.
Wow.
Critics.
I remember it being hot. Now, that may have been over time, I'm sure, as people have caught on. Because, again, if people loved it from the beginning, it wouldn't have made just 3 million. So,
yeah.
But that's I feel like that's the tricky part is people putting this in. I mean, Rotten Tomatoes, I don't even think existed then. But the fact that people are catching it now in the past 5, 10, whatever years is helps it because I'd say it's a horror comedy. It's there. I think it's gotten. It's made a name.
Absolutely.
It made a name for most of these guys, and so yeah. And now I'll be honest. I kind of just shot in the dark because I think probably when it come out, I feel like if Rotten Tomatoes existed, I could see like a 74, 76 maybe.
Yeah.
But the fact that it builds over, which then makes me think if 90. I have a feeling the audience score is lower though.
Okay, well, let's talk about that. There's 250,000 plus reviews on the popcorn meter at Rotten Tomatoes. So 92% for the tomato meter. What are the average Joe thinking of Shaun of the Dead?
71.
I'm gonna go down.
Large drop.
But I'll say like 83.
You both went in the wrong direction. It actually goes up 1% to 93%.
Wow.
Dang. That's definitely for people catching on through the years.
It's universally
Watching
beloved
it.
more than I thought it was.
Yeah. Me too.
Yeah,
That's some high ass numbers.
I just remember buying my copy from Danger Zone Video, and I think it was Jesse. I can't remember if it was Brittany or Jesse who was in the store that day. Said, "I hate this movie."
That sounds
Seriously,
maybe,
I did not.
Maybe that's what I'm basing my entire
I didn't see
opinion
that
off
coming.
of. But I do have a copy of this on DVD that I purchased from Danger Zone Video here in Mount Juliet, Tennessee.
No.
And somebody at the store told me they hated the movie when I bought it.
I think it's a very. I think it's cleverly done.
Yeah.
And it was very different back then, and a lot of people have tried to kind of replicate that to not the quality of Shaun of the Dead. I will say, and I'm not saying like you don't laugh, but I thought it was funnier.
I did too.
I liked it, and a lot of the funny stuff is sort of at the beginning and when it first happens. Like I always will remember when he's just walking, he's doing his routine, and the zombies are there, but he's paying no attention.
Yeah.
He's like, "Hey, I'll owe you," and he almost slips on the blood and the handprints. One thing that did make me laugh and I remember once I saw it again, I remember, but when it's essentially, even though as far as they're concerned, it's their sort of first encounter because there's a woman in the yard and you know how it plays it up because they're like, "Oh my God, she's so drunk."
She's so
they just start laughing.
Yeah.
And that makes me laugh.
Yeah, there's some social commentary in the film where, you harked on that scene where Shaun goes into the bodega or whatever, and he's like, "I'll owe you."
Yeah.
And the apocalypse is already hitting, but we're in such zombie mode now with our cell phones and such. So like the previous scenes, everybody's just like as an actual zombie state going about their day, where Shaun comes out of his flat, he goes around the corner, and he's walking the same path that he does day in and day out to the bodega and then to work without any real, human interaction and whatnot. And then on the bus, everybody's looking at their phone, not paying attention to anything. And it's not till the apocalypse actually happens where he's starting to see like, "Oh shit, something's going on around me. What the fuck's going on?"
Yeah, and this was 21 years ago. 21 years ago.
Foreshadowing.
Imagine what you could do now, especially. But I always wondered, and I was very curious, is when he goes in the first time, he picks up a Diet Coke, looks at it, puts it back, and gets a regular Coke.
Mm-hmm.
The second time, and it's the zombie time, he picks up a regular Coke and he's looking at something and he puts that back and gets a Diet Coke. What is he looking at on that can?
That's way more in
calories
analysis.
I just thought it was so. Well, I'll be honest. I guess because he makes it a point to look and switch, but I didn't even care that he picked up whichever one. But I'm like, what is he looking at that's making him not choose? And I guess because I'm like, it's Coke and Diet Coke. Like, what are we like? I'm just curious. And then I think, is it expiration date? But
Maybe.
Why wouldn't he just go look at the other Diet Coke?
Yeah, I don't know.
I want to talk to Edgar. I want to talk to Edgar or Simon, one of those two, and say, what could you have possibly been looking at? If you like your Diet Coke, what's it matter? But anyway, I should admit I turned it off after that, so I'm not sure what happens.
I
was fed up. I was fed up.
That seems on par for the course with your ability to do research for this.
How dare you? I watch all these.
Some other people that watched it and some loved, some didn't love, are people on Letterboxd. So I have some reviews here from people. We're going to start with number one Gizmo fan. That's a great name. They gave Shaun of the Dead 4.5 stars on Letterboxd and says, the fact that the brutal murdering of that old man was in sync with Don't Stop Me Now by Queen is utterly breathtaking, truly masterful work.
Yeah. There was a lot of the musical choices in this that I thought kind of in and of themselves were pretty comical.
Yeah.
They're good choices, though.
Yeah.
Oh, I agree. James on Letterboxd gives it 4 stars as well. Surprisingly, works better for me from a dramatic standpoint than a comedic one. It's still really funny, but I'm also incredibly invested in Shaun trying to repair and come to grips with its relationships in the midst of a zombie apocalypse. Tons of stellar scenes and impeccable direction makes this a blast to revisit.
I was kind of there. I'm kind of with him.
Yeah.
My rewatching it in one sit down. I actually, again, there are some funny parts, but there actually is a lot of heart and emotion in it that I don't think I would have given it credit for.
Yeah.
Based on just what I remember seeing when it first came out.
Yeah, I would agree wholeheartedly. That's kind of how I remembered this movie, was that, it was just a silly, dumb zombie comedy thing. And then when I rewatched it, was kind of like, wow, there are some really interesting themes that kind of hit home in this.
I just remember that other one where he's Nick Frost has a good one where he's going through the mail, and the last one he's like, "And I ate out your mom," and he's like, "What?" And he like has that look.
Yeah,
I'm like, this is so. Like he's so ridiculous in this one. I like him. I haven't seen him in a ton of stuff all outside of Edgar Wright stuff, but I love how like some of the stuff he just would sneak in and the looks he would give.
And just how like he does not want to do shit.
No.
Ever.
Especially if that other roommate asks him to do it.
It would be really hard to be friends with that guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
This was his first movie.
Nick Frost?
Yeah, he'd done television, but this was his first film. I will say I'll piggyback on what James was saying when it comes to the dramatic standpoints in the film. I hearken some of those scenes in comparison to some of the scenes and the songs actually in Anna and the Apocalypse, where I went into that movie thinking I was just going to get a silly, horror comedy spoof, when actually there's a lot of, like heart-tugging moments throughout that movie, as there is, I think, in Shaun the Dead as well.
Yeah.
I highly recommend everybody to go see Anna and the Apocalypse whenever they can.
Moving on. How could we forget that Nick Frost was in Fighting With My Family?
Oh my God, he was.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's the dad, right?
The brother. Was he the brother, or was he the dad?
No, he was the dad, because the brother was, what's his name?
Oh, that's right, yeah.
I've seen him in some other stuff too, but yeah.
Yeah.
Florence Pugh was in it too, in case anybody.
Yeah. Dwayne Johnson has a cameo in it as
well.
Oh, yeah.
That's
right. You haven't seen Fighting With My Family.
Vince Vaughn.
Yeah.
Lena Headey.
Mm-hmm. They had some good ones.
What a cast.
I think we still have like 15 years or so to go for that one.
Oh, yeah. No, we'll be dead.
We do.
Yeah. Lauren on Letterboxd, 3.5 stars. Shaun having self-esteem issues and self-doubt instead of fighting zombies in the middle of a zombie attack is peak relatability.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah,
and that probably speaks even more so today than it did.
It does
21 years ago.
It does,
absolutely. Sure. And then there's Ray on who gave 4 stars as well. Shaun of the Dead used only one Queen song, and it's already a better Queen biopic than Bohemian Rhapsody.
Hell yeah.
There is some funny Bohemian Rhapsody hate on the Shaun of the Dead Letterboxd reviews.
Oh, good.
Really?
Good. Yeah. They're probably British.
There were some people that were saying like this should have been Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah. I purposely pulled out that review strictly for Brandon's delight.
Thank you.
But it took a while, but I did find one person who does not like the film, and it's somebody named Noen. Gave it 2 stars, and he says, or they say, "I apologize in advance, but I must be the most grumpy person alive because I didn't find anything funny in this film."
Lame.
Grumpy ass.
Yeah. I would like to know if Jesse or Brittany, I don't know who to accuse, but why they don't like it.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Well, you don't remember who said it.
No,
so,
I don't.
But I want to know
in my head.
I want to that, but also that's good business. Hand someone a movie you're going to buy and say, "I didn't like it." Here.
Yeah, I hated this.
Well,
Here.
Brandon, as an investor in Danger Zone Video, you might want to have a talk with some of the employees.
I should. Yeah, I should. And say, hey, guys, you're supposed to like everything.
Yeah.
Don't
Great choices.
lie. Yeah, customer's always right.
Yeah.
It did win some awards. It won 4 Fangoria Chainsaw Awards, including Best Wide Release Film, Best Actor for Simon Pegg, Best Supporting Actor for Nick Frost, and then Best Screenplay written by Pegg and Wright that we talked about.
That's a hell of an award to win Best Wide Release.
That's like a Return of the King run.
Yeah, that's it is.
Some Titanic shit right there.
Yeah, I was going to say, King of the World right there.
Man.
For the Fangoria Chainsaw
Awards.
I don't even think they're real anymore, but
yeah, they're still real.
Oh, is it?
Around.
No.
Yeah.
Oh man, wow. Well, good for them. Best Wide Release. That makes me think there's an award that says for things that came out in less, and this came out in 600 theaters. Yeah. So I'm really confused. But anyway, good for them.
Yeah. Getting into some fun facts about the film. Shaun the Dead famously kicks off what's become known as the Cornetto trilogy. It's actually the Three Flavors Cornetto trilogy, which includes Hot Fuzz and The World's End, along with Shaun of the Dead. The trilogy is so named because the film shares certain thematic concerns. They're all in the same way about men who have to learn to grow up and move on with their lives, for example. And because Cornetto is actually an ice cream snack that appears in all 3 films.
Oh.
So you may ask, how did that start? Well, according to Edgar Wright, it's because he once ate a Cornetto ice cream to get over a hangover and thought it would be funny if Nick Frost's character Ed did the same thing after a night of drinking. He says, it's the weirdest thing you would want to eat at the time in the morning. When I was in college, I got very, very drunk once, and I had a Cornetto in the morning, and I felt a lot better. So it became my hangover cure, and it still is. And this movie was shot over 9 weeks between May and July of 2003.
And they say dairy is actually good for the hangover if you drink a glass of milk the next morning.
I think Shaun of the Dead is my favorite of the 3, though.
I would have to go back and watch the other 2. I remember really liking Hot Fuzz.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember liking The World's End too, but not, I don't know. I would have to revisit, but I think I'm with you on Shaun of the Dead's probably.
I feel like Hot Fuzz was good, but there was something where because you wanted that Shaun of the Dead, like you wanted that energy again. And even though it's a different kind of story and everything, but I want to think, and none of them are bad, but I want to think it was Shaun of the Dead and That World's End and then Hot Fuzz. But that's like a difference of like, between maybe a star or half a star. But I don't think it ever quite got to that Shaun of the Dead, which also kind of makes sense because sometimes when you're first exposed to it, that's what becomes kind of your favorite, and everything else seems like, well, yeah, but they didn't do this, or well, this didn't work out, and because I think Nick Frost, I think they're all in it, but Martin Freeman, who shows his face in this, Shaun of the Dead,
I caught that
plays
too.
a much bigger role in the next 2, and he's become one of my favorites. He was in a show on FX called Breeders that it's a British one, but I absolutely love. My wife and I watched I think it was like 3 or 4 seasons, but and then obviously with The Hobbit and stuff like that. But I've really come to like him. But I saw him, and man, he's so young. Like some of these people still look like they're kids. So besides Bill Nighy, the Martin Freeman's in this, who also probably was not shown at all in any public publicity stuff or trailers, but still.
So the movie was inspired by an episode of the TV show Spaced that Nick, Edgar, and Simon were all a part of. It's an episode called Art. Tim, the character played by Simon Pegg, is under the influence of amphetamines, and while playing Resident Evil 2, he hallucinates that he's fighting off a zombie invasion. And after Art was filmed, Edgar Wright pitched the idea of a feature-length zombie comedy, And Pegg and Frost were obviously inspired by the work of George A. Romero, director of Night of the Living Dead, The Crazies, Dawn of the Dead, and that's kind of where the birth of Shaun of the Dead came from.
All of that's in Shaun of the
You see it.
DNA is all over the place. I mean, just spewing all over.
His Shaun's mother's name is Barbara, who was a character in Night of the Living Dead, and one of the most famous lines in movie history, let alone horror movie history, is at the beginning where the boyfriend says, "They're coming to get you, Barbara."
Yeah,
and he actually delivers that line, "I'm coming to get you, Barbara," to his mom on the phone in the film.
I didn't even catch. I didn't catch
that
together.
I didn't catch when you said Barbara. I remember from Night of the Living Dead, but I didn't catch it in watching Shaun of the Dead. Yeah,
nice little Easter egg.
Yeah,
nice touch there.
Yep. George A. Romero was actually so impressed with the work on Shaun of the Dead that he asked Edgar Wright and Simon Pegg to do a cameo in his 2000 film Land of the Dead.
Oh,
yeah.
It's in Simon Pegg's filmography. I was like, oh yeah.
Yep. It's a quick little cameo. There's a part where super rich people are able to go into a photo booth and take pictures with chained up zombies. And that's the scene they're in.
Wait a minute. When was that?
I do believe Land of the Dead was 2005.
Oh, okay.
Yep. And when asked by an interviewer why they chose to have slow-moving zombies instead of fast-moving zombies like you see in like 28 days, Simon Pegg simply replied, "Because death is not an energy drink." Take that for what you think.
And well, one, that's a great answer, but two, that would half that movie would not work if we're at full pace because the humans aren't at full pace. So that just technically wouldn't work anyway. But
the movie lasted about 3 minutes.
Yeah, while he goes to find that other Diet Coke or Coke, he'd be dead.
Yep.
But I love her like that. The homeless guy. He's like, "Oh, sorry, no, man, I couldn't even pay for my fucking drink." Like having this mid conversation thing while everyone is clearly the world's gone to shit. But I love it. That's the part of the brilliance.
I mentioned the show Space that Pegg, Frost, and Wright were all about. Most of the zombie extras were fans of that show that were recruited through the Spaced Out fan website that the show has.
Oh, nice. Sweet.
So that saved on some budget.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
Supposedly he paid, or Simon Pegg or the production paid all of the non-zombie extras $1 a day in tribute to George A. Romero paying $1 to each zombie extra in Night of the Living Dead.
How about that? So they're really they're making some art here. They are connecting deep to their forefathers.
And they're also I don't think that is the pay scale. So that might be illegal.
I don't know. It sounds cool, but I don't know.
I don't want $1 for a day. Yeah.
Like I've been an extra in a number of films back in the day, and even in the 90s, I got paid more than $1 a day.
Yeah, I imagine them giving them $1 and be like, well, when George R. Romero did this and they did $1, and I just remember them being like, "Fuck you, I want my money."
Yeah.
Quentin Tarantino actually dubbed this as one of his top 20 movies of all time.
Really?
Yeah.
That vibes.
I say with his unique taste, I could kind of see him ranking this pretty high.
Yeah.
That seems more
top 20 all time,
which is saying a lot. But I don't know if you guys know this. Quentin Tarantino watches a lot of movies, I think.
Yeah,
so that's saying something.
Yeah. In March of 2011, this movie was voted by BBC Radio 1 and BBC Radio 1 Extra listeners as their second favorite movie of all time.
Wow!
What film do you think out Shaun of the Dead?
As the number one, not horror comedy, just number one movie.
It's number one film of all time. It is not a British film. It's an American film.
Oh, well, now you've really... This was in 2011?
Yeah. So it's not Oppenheimer.
Yeah. I don't know.
Titanic.
Casablanca.
Shawshank Redemption.
Oh,
that was my next one.
yeah, we would have gotten there eventually.
Man.
Yeah, that would have been an easy
Pearl
one to kind of
Harbor.
eventually get to. Yep. The working title and eventual title for Shaun the Dead was not what we originally had. The title began as what Edgar Wright describes as a one-page Word document that sketched out the general idea of the movie, and it was then called Tea Time of the Dead.
Oh.
How about that?
I would
That's
like to
very
see a
British.
Tea Time of the Dead.
That's
I would
very,
like to see that. Yeah.
It's very British.
So if anybody thinks of rebooting this film, I don't think that's ever going to happen. Simon Pegg said that him and director Edgar Wright would be incensed if the film was ever rebooted, mainly because it's so special to them due to its many autobiographical elements. For example, in real life, Pegg and Nick Frost were very attached to their regular pub, the Shepherd's in Highgate, so much that Wright would have difficulties to take them anywhere else for a change.
So there's a little bit of that bleeding over into the film. Yeah.
Yep.
I could see that, but I think it's also one of those cases of why would you want to reboot this? Because you're never going to capture the same essence of what made this movie great. And it was like the people involved. And it's just no point. Anything new would be a lesser imitation of it.
I feel like British movies don't get remade and rebooted quite like American movies do.
Yeah, they just get remade by American companies,
right? But a lot of times, like it's more of like the like The Ring and Rigu. Like sometimes they're trying to Americanize it, which is the case. They did it with 4 Weddings and a Funeral, for instance. But I also kind of feel like, Shaun of the Dead was not a hit when it came out.
Yeah.
So now, granted, you've gained an audience, cult classic situation, but from Shaun of the Dead till now, the zombie game genre has changed too.
Yeah.
And so, as we were talking about at the top of this, a lot of things try to imitate Shaun of the Dead. So you trying to reboot it, I feel like is just going to that's even a bigger waste than trying to implement some of the things that Edgar and Simon and all those guys did. But yeah, I think it's also very personal. So
yeah, sometimes you just have to acknowledge you had lightning in a bottle.
That's
just
right.
Leave it there.
That's right.
Yep. While
they did with Green Lantern.
That's right.
Yeah. While they were going around pitching the movie to production companies, there was a production company that shown interest in it, but then that company wanted to start cutting back the budget to the film, which basically caused Wright and Simon Pegg to walk away. And Wright was so dead set on getting this movie made that he held off on taking any other directing jobs, especially on television, because that would have taken more time from him to be able to give to the film. Right. And in fact, during this, he was just rapidly going broke and had no money. So basically, Simon Pegg pretty much floated Edgar Wright for a while until they were able to get, financing for the film. And according to Edgar Wright, Simon Pegg has still yet to allow him to pay him back any of the money that he borrowed.
And that's
well, it did a lot for both of them. So yeah, but that's very nice.
That's a dude right there.
That is, yeah.
That's a dude.
I guess my question is, what the fuck is Nick Frost doing then?
Nick Frost.
He's like that roommate.
He is.
That's him.
That's what he is in real life.
That is exactly because he's got Harry Potter money now. And from what I understand, J.K. Rowling's a very sweet woman. And so I just don't understand why he can't chip in now. Why he can't chip in now.
Well, also he's got, DreamWorks money now with How to Train Your Dragon.
He's at least in the next 2.
Yeah. Yeah. And he's got the Snow White and the Huntsman money too.
Oh, that's right. That's right. God, DreamWorks and Disney money?
Hey.
He's holding it to himself.
Yeah, I guess so. Selfish bastard.
Yeah. None for Edgar Wright.
None.
If you wanted a sequel to Shaun of the Dead, it's not happening. They did consider a sequel that would replace the zombies with another monster, but decided against it, as they were pleased with this movie as a standalone product and thought too many characters died to continue the story. And the proposed title was going to be From Dusk Till Shaun.
Thank you. Now, the title's nice, but I think doing the trilogy that they did was a better way of kind of bringing it together than any kind of Shaun Shaun of the Dead too. But that's a fun title. I'll give him that.
Yeah.
I will say that From Dusk Till Shaun does live inside the MCU.
Excuse me?
There is a a mocked up movie poster for From Dusk Till Shaun that is found in Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Oh, okay.
Little Easter egg there. You have to go back and look for.
Wow.
That is a deep cut.
That's really digging in there.
Now, one of my favorite scenes in the whole film is where the zombie apocalypse is first happening, and Shaun and Ed are warding off zombies by throwing LPs or vinyl records at them.
Yes.
They list many artists, but they could only get 2 artists to sign off allowing their actual albums to be shown. One was the British New Wave band New Order, and the other was Sade herself.
Is that right?
That is correct. I thought, they mentioned Prince. Obviously, they had Purple Rain, Shaun, Sign of the Time. I almost said Shaun of the Times. Sign of the Times, and the Batman soundtrack, which is eventually what they end up throwing at the zombies, trying to kill them with the Batman soundtrack. So my question is to you: your favorite artists, which of their albums are you willing to give up to save your life?
I don't know that I have a favorite artist to begin with.
That's sad.
I would say the third Maylene and the Sons of Disaster album was a pretty clear departure from the first 2 that I didn't enjoy that much.
You know what? That does remind me, because there's and I don't know the name of it, but it's maybe the 3rd or 4th. I don't know, one of Mumford and Sons albums, and it's not like
that's a good one. I know what you're talking about.
And I like some of the songs, but not all of them. And I probably would have done that one, or we were talking about this before we started, but I really liked Sugar Ray Fly when I was younger, but that CD, none of it sounded like that one. Or
that was pretty deceiving. If you were a kid that just heard Fly and thought that's what I'm getting, the rest of that album is like some sort of like contorted metal.
Yeah. Or the one that had a Smash Mouth. There was one that Walking on the Sun.
Yeah.
The rest of that album was not very good.
Mm.
But then I thought the other one that had All Star on it, I don't remember liking that. I'll just throw all of Smash Mouth CDs at them, and one of those Mumford and Sons CDs, and that Sugar Ray one.
There we go.
Yeah, I would go with a different Prince album because I don't mind Batman. I would probably do the Graffiti Bridge soundtrack, which was a bad movie and an okay album, and then probably Rave Against the Joy Fantastic, which is a not good Prince album at all, that features Sheryl Crow on it, of all people.
Oh,
yeah.
How about that?
I wouldn't give anything of hers away.
No. Okay. Well, Shaun of the Dead is a full-on comedy. Is full of comedy-laden character deaths, but one particular death actually caused real grief, and that is the death of Barbara, Shaun's mother. According to Edgar Wright and Simon Pegg, Pegg reacted to the idea of Barbara dying as if his own mother was being killed. Okay. And after the death scene was filmed, Pegg and Frost both cried real tears.
Man.
Wow.
That's, you know what? Yeah, this sounds pretty personal to Simon Pegg.
Yeah, I see why we don't want to just start.
Nobody
let's reboot it,
shit.
and Shaun will be Ryan Gosling.
Yeah.
Or Glenn Powell.
Yeah.
Speaking of people who could have been in the film, I do have one last note, and that's a coulda, woulda, shoulda.
Ooh.
And it's about Barbara. Somebody was offered the role of Barbara, but declined it. Who do we think that is?
Easy. Judi Dench.
Helen Mirren.
Helen Mirren, exactly.
Oh, wow.
Say Maggie Smith, one of them.
All right.
You had like a 1 in 5 shot at getting it right.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
So before we get out of here, any favorite scenes or quotes we want to touch base on before we go?
I think we've already touched on them. For me, I do like the scene where David gets pulled out of the pub and they start like ripping his stomach apart.
Yeah.
And then his girlfriend is like, still like, I'm going to open the door. I'm going to come save you. And I'm just like, it reminded me of that scene from, what was it? The Watch, where he's like, fella, his heart is out of his body. I think he's gone.
Yeah.
That's what it's like. You are probably like, he's gone. But
I like how it kind of comes full circle at the end where he goes in and they're playing video games and you just see Nick Frost just slowly like try to bite his arm. It's like, hey.
Yeah.
Like, but that sums up basically their fight. I gotta say, you said Glenn Powell. Well, Glenn Powell is in Edgar Wright's new film, which is a remake of the Running
Stephen
Man.
King, which is a Stephen King story. Yeah.
Which is also an Arnold movie.
How about that?
Yeah. Did you ever see that?
Well,
never saw
it. A Stephen King film is the Brits' favorite film, according to a poll in 2011.
Bingo.
How about that?
Tim Robbins.
We really didn't mention the friends of Shaun and the girlfriend, but the girlfriend of the guy who's pulled apart, she's basically a cuck in the film because she unveils or reveals that, she knows that her boyfriend is in love with Shaun's ex-girlfriend, and she was just along for the ride anyway.
Yeah. So, there's layers to this film.
Yeah.
There's depth to
there
this
really
film.
is more to it than I think you give credit for, which I mean, when I saw it, I was like 17. So, I was just hoping there were boobies.
Yeah.
This is not 28 years later where there's plenty of boobies.
There's plenty of cock too.
I heard
there is alpha cock.
Yeah.
I heard the new one should be called 28 inches later.
Yes, it's Thor lost his hammer. It's between those dudes' legs. I assure you.
I don't know how to segue. So let's Mount Rushmore time.
This was tough.
Our favorite British films of all time.
Mine's pretty easy. I go Lawrence of Arabia, 1917, Dunkirk, and Gosford Park.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mine was kind of tough because there's a lot, and honestly, I would easily probably change out some of them. But funny enough, Dunkirk and 1917 are two of mine because I just think they're some of the best war films and best films that has been done. And you're talking about Sam Mendes and Nolan, and so I couldn't look past that. I kind of had a little trouble with the last little bit. I have Skyfall.
Okay.
I think is a British film because it's James Bond, and honestly, I would switch out either one, but I really have come to really like In Bruges.
See, I haven't watched it yet.
And Atonement. I enjoyed. I like those a lot, but like I said, there's some other ones that obviously. I mean, you're talking about all these British films, but those are some of my faves.
I had two honorable mentions. One, Snatch. I'm a big fan of that movie, and then Paddington 2.
I almost put that. That's right.
Yeah, but my four, first and foremost, is Train Spotting. Absolutely love that fucking movie. 28 Days Later. And then I have two I don't think maybe either one of you maybe heard of or seen. One is called How to Have Sex. It's a 2023 film about this group of girls who go on holiday.
Yeah.
And one of them's basically trying to lose their virginity. I just enjoy that film.
Yes, I do know what you're talking about.
And then lastly is Nil by Mouth, which is from 1997, and it was Gary Oldman's directorial debut. It is a very heavy and somewhat depressing film about domestic abuse. Basically.
Oh man,
you had me at Gary Oldman, but you lost me at heavy domestic abuse.
Yeah, it could be fun though.
Yeah,
it's the only film he's ever directed.
Wow, he did that and was like, "No, I can't.
Ain't doing it."
Yeah.
So that's all I have for Shaun of the Dead. Unless, gentlemen, we have something else we'd like to add before we get out of here.
All clear on my end.
Me too.
Well, we are up against the clock. So, hey, check us out on Nashville Movie Database, our Dispatch, where you can find all of our work. I mean, Nashville Movie Database sounds pretty cool.
That's
if
what
it doesn't
Brandon
exist, we should get on that.
That's what Brandon called it for the first 6 months it was open.
Yeah.
Oh, So I don't feel so bad then.
Yeah.
Most importantly, subscribe to Drinking With wherever you get your podcast fix. Leave us a rating and review so we know what you think about the show. And let us know what movie that's turning 21 years old you would like us to discuss. Gentlemen, where can these fine folks find you on these internet streets?
At Stoney Keeley and at Sobros Network, sobrosnetwork.com.
And that's Sir Brandon V on Twitter, Sir Brandon on Letterboxd, and of course, everything on NashvilleMovieDispatch.substack.com.
You can find me on X at MC_cast75, Letterbox at Simply Stephen McCash. I do want to put a plug in. We will be doing a live stream once again for a Halloween episode coming up. Keep your eyes and ears posted wherever you are on social media with the Sobros Network and such. I will go ahead and spoil it. We're doing Saw. Saw is turning 21 years old this year.
Can't believe it.
I'm so excited to talk about this film.
Yep.
But cheers to another episode of Drinking With, where we have explored the films that have come of age, just like a fine wine. We've raised our glasses to movies turning 21, where we've laughed, reminisced, and maybe shed a tear or two. Well, Simon Pegg did over this timeless classic. So until next time, may your drinks be cold, your conversations lively, and your movie nights unforgettable. Drink responsibly, and remember, age is just a number, but great films are forever. And we'll see you next time, because I have to return some videotapes.